Let's go, people. We back. It's the barber, the better. We're here to bring you some more winners. Let's go. First off, I just want to say, open up a little bit. You know, we was talking about superstition here before we started, and I'm wearing this Cowboys jersey right here. This is the last time I'm wearing it this season, man. Bro, they lost twice big when I wore this. That's how I do. You get one loss, maybe I'll wear it again. That's it. Two, we're done with it. You know what I mean? They got smoked twice. That's it. How about you, man? What's your superstitions on the game?
Man, on Sunday games, so I'm very similar, but I give a shirt 3 times. But I don't like to wear hats on game day when I'm at the crib because if they lose and I'm wearing a certain hat, I don't like to taint them like that. So I try to keep the hats out of it so I can rock them during the week. But other than that, that's really all I got. So if you got any superstitions, put them in the comments below and let us know.
Yeah, man. Like another big one for me is like it got to be good energy. Like you can't be arguing with your girl or shit going on or bad stuff running around the game. You might as well not even put no bets up that day because it's just gonna keep going bad, man. It's not gonna change. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, if I got anybody coming over and their team is playing my team, they're not coming over till after the game or the next day.
Yeah, that's.
I don't watch people that are rooting against my team. I don't like that.
That's definitely big. I've thrown family members out the house for other people for that game. Facts. That's definitely happening. That's happening, man. But so with that being said. Again, let us know any superstitions you guys have, comment. But let's get into these games. Game 1 is going to be New England at Jacksonville. It's really not at because they're in England, but it's Jacksonville minus 5.5, over under 42.5. What do you think?
Man, it's going to sound crazy coming from me because everybody knows I'm the world's biggest Patriots hater. But I got them covering the spread, man. I like them with the points. Bro, the Jaguars are ass. They're bad, bad, bad. I really think they're going to leave Doug Peterson over there in London just like the Jets did Robert Saleh. I don't think he's making that trip home, at least not on the team plane. Them dudes, they're playing over there like he's completely lost that locker room, man. Dudes are playing like they don't even want to be there. I'm liking the Patriots for that reason. What you got?
See, I got it the other way. I hear your points, but I just think Jacksonville got to do something, man. I think they've been over there in England for 2 weeks. They had a little extra thing. They came over. Then there shouldn't be as much distractions, like with everything in your personal life going on. They only should be focusing on football over there. Like, and then they got to, they got to sit with that loss from the last game. Like, you know what I mean? That's got to sit hard with them. And then if you lose to the Patriots, everybody knows the Patriots is trash. So it's like, in the locker room, if they win this game, then it could be some false hope. They could be like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, we still got a chance, But if they lose this game, I think everybody knows it's over. So I go with Jacksonville with the 5.5. I just think that the Jacksonville rush could get to Drake May. You know what I mean? The Patriots offensive line isn't all that. And then as soon as they stop the run game, I don't know that Drake May, could carry him like that. That's my opinion. You like any props or anything else on this?
Man, after hearing all that about Jacksonville, Drake made 250 yards, bro. Jacksonville's not coming home doing nothing, man. I don't like them at all. You know why though? I'm holding a grudge because every time I take them with some points, they never cover for me. So that's why I'm rocking with the Pats still.
You're right. They have been ass this year. The whole team's trash, but I don't know. The Patriots ain't nothing to get either. A few things I like on this game. I think Evan Ingram over 46.5 yards. If you want to go over his catches, easy. Either way, he came back last week like he would never miss a game. He had 10 catches last week. It was feeding him. And then I like Demario Douglas for the Patriots over 46.5 yards. He's a good receiver. Just he didn't have nobody to get him the ball. It's showing more now. He got his first touchdown last week. I think him and Drake May might have a connection. That should be easy. And then I think Christian Kirk to go over 45.5 yards receiving. You put those 3 together in a parlay, it's plus 531. Something to think about.
And I like that too because I don't think Ramondre Stevenson is playing and Antonio Gibson is ass. So the Patriots are going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I like them receiving props. So for the second game on the slate on Sunday, we got the Texans versus the Packers at Green Bay. Packers are favored minus 2.5. The over-under is 47.5. How you feeling about this one?
I like Green Bay in this one, giving it 2.5. I think Houston's a good team, but they've been on the road, back-to-back road games. That's tough for a lot of teams. And then also, Green Bay won me over when they were playing with what's his name, Willis, because the team was beating decent teams that look good with Malik Willis, like, so, you know what I mean? Like, so it just shows you, it shows you how good of a team they are. Like, and there's even people talking about Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not against that. I could see that happening very well. I got a futures bet on Green Bay going to the Super Bowl, to tell you the truth. I just think that they're a better team right now than Houston, and Houston's defense hasn't been what it was. So I think that they can win by field goal at home in Lambeau. I got Green Bay all day. Not much else on that game.
Personally, I like the Texans only because I really like C.J. Stroud. I feel like their offense had a different dynamic when Joe Mixon came back. I understand that they were playing against the Patriots last week, but I just feel like that's a team that I know they've been on the road, but I just like their chemistry. And even with Nico Collins coming out with his hamstring injury, you still got Stephon Diggs, who wants to prove that he's still a WR1 after leaving Buffalo. And you got Tank Dell on the other side. You know, Dalton Schultz is not, one of those fancy name tight ends, but C.J. Stroud likes to use them, and there's going to be more opportunities for him. So I feel like, they may not win the game, but I do think that they can keep it close, and I would take them with the points. I do like the over as well. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Both of those teams like to throw the ball.
And the Barbershop agrees with you. The Barbershop got Houston, so 2-1 Houston. Oh yeah, and last game, forgot to tell you, Barbershop also had New England 2-1 against me on that, so see how it goes. And for our third game of the day, 1 o'clock game between Tennessee at Buffalo. Buffalo minus 8.5, over under 41.5. What you think, Jet?
I mean, it's looking like it's going to be an AFC East kind of day, man. I like Buffalo minus the 8.5. Dude, I think they're just going to scrape Tennessee. As I've said before, and I'll die on this hill, Will Levis is ass. That boy cannot play at the level that these dudes are playing. He just, even though Buffalo's defense hasn't been, great, they played amazing against the Jets last week. That kid Rapp was making huge plays. Dudes are stepping up at the right time. They just picked up Amari Cooper. I think that's going to be a huge addition to this offense. I love Amari Cooper. I think that dude's a dog. He just spent all that time in Cleveland. You never heard him say a bad word. He's just a dude that's going to come in, perform. I take Buffalo to points, and I take the over too, just because I think Buffalo's going to run it up. What you like?
Man, I agree with most everything you said. I think Cooper's going to fit like a glove. He's just going to go in. He's going to be quiet, do his job. And he just last season, he won everybody their fantasy championship, scored like 3 touchdowns, went crazy with Flacco. Last game of the season.
Big fly.
He's everywhere he goes. When he went to the Cowboys, he changed everything for Dak. He changed the whole offense, turned the whole season around. I think that's a big pickup for Buffalo. I think it changes the whole rest of the season trajectory. I also think now the other guys are gonna have to step it up. You're gonna see Max Hollins gonna have to compete more. Samuels, Shakur, all of them got to compete for now because they know that he's coming. So I think I like the same thing. I like Buffalo to handle. I think the team should be on a high after getting this. I think it shows the players they're all in. I like Buffalo to handle them. Tennessee is, Elvis, man, you said it last time. It's like he's playing for the other team.
Yeah, bro. He's shaving points for real,
Will
man.
Levis is the worst, man. He just looks like a quarterback until he gets on the field. You know what I mean? Like he's like the dude that warm up. You're like, oh yeah, he looks like a good quarterback. And then you pick him and you mad.
Quarterback in the movie. That's who he is.
Yeah, man. He's like the guy at the basketball court. He got all the wristbands on. He's ready to go. He got the Ellis Jordan.
Rain Man.
You know what I mean? That's it, man. So definitely, we like Buffalo. Same here. Barbershop's off on Buffalo, so I don't know what that means. So it's a clean sweep there.
Now the next game up on the slate for Sunday, 1 p.m. We got the Seahawks Falcons in Atlanta. Falcons are minus 2.5. Over under is 50.5. What you got on this one, Comissh?
Man, I like the Seahawks on this one. Like I said, Gino he'll give you some fool's gold, like, you know what I mean. And I'm not. Cousins the same way. I'm just not really sold on Atlanta like that. I think Atlanta's been overhyped all year, and there's still a lot of hype on them. Like, and I haven't seen it on the field. I think the Seahawks. I definitely like the over, like you said, because you can score on the Seahawks, and then Cousins gonna try to chuck it around. But I just think getting a 3, it could be a 2-point game, a 3-point game. I'll take the 3 points from Cousins. You know what I mean? That's what I got on this game.
So I'm going to go the other way. I like the Falcons minus the 2.5. Only because they're at home. Because when I look at these two teams, I see the Spider-Man meme where he's pointing at himself. Like, these teams are so identical. The defenses and the offenses, they're going to try to throw the rock. I do think it'll be a big DK game. He's coming off of a 2-game cold streak. So I think he'll get his But ultimately, I think it'll come down to it. Young Hoku pop up at the end of the game, kick himself a little field goal with his weird little field goal stance. He don't even go all the way left. And I'm gonna take the Falcons in this one.
As long as the field goal don't go left, right?
yeah, facts.
That's all that matters. But that's another one. I'm glad you brought that point up. But DK big this week. Like anytime touchdown, DK over yardage. DK huge week. DK this week. Game 5 on the slate. 1 o'clock game. Miami getting 3 from Indy at Indy over 43.5. What you think, Jet?
Like I said, man, it's going to be an AFC East kind of day on Sunday, I think, man. I think the Dolphins are covered at 3 simply because Anthony Richardson's going to be back. The Colts like playing with Joe Flacco. That's who they want throwing the ball. The receivers want him throwing the ball. I'm not saying the kid Anthony Richardson isn't talented. I'm not saying the kid doesn't have an amazing cannon arm. I'm not saying he's not a fucking world star athlete. But I just don't think he's ready, NFL ready. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I think you give Huntley a little bit of time. They're coming off of the bye week. You know, I think the guys are pumped because they know Tua's coming back is the word. So I think they're going to want to get things ramped up. You know how locker rooms are, man. You're never out of it till you're out of it, right? So I think they're going to step up this week. I think they're going to go in, cover. If I had to call it, I'd probably say the under just because, you know, both of those teams right now, the offenses, especially when you look at the numbers that Anthony Richardson puts up as opposed to Joe Flacco with AR, the numbers are much lower. And that's how I feel about that game. What you got?
Same. I like Miami getting the 3 there. Indy's usually in them tight games. And I think coming off 2 weeks, Huntley's got to look better. Everybody's seen Huntley. The guy actually went to a Pro Bowl. If you remember, he's a Pro Bowl. I mean, you argue if it was deserved or not, but, you know, Huntley looks a lot better than what he's looked out there. I like Tyreek for anytime touchdown. I feel like he's going to have a game. They're going to do whatever they got to do. Reverses
My
to
fantasy
him,
squad would love that.
You know what I mean? So
they would love that.
I definitely, and then Indy, I don't know, they're, you know, up and down. I think Miami, mostly I'm going for this because Miami coming off for 2 weeks to get ready. I just think they got to look better. They got a lot of weapons. Achane, Waddle, it's just getting them the ball. If Huntley can do that, they shouldn't have a problem being Indy. The over-under is kind of tricky on this game. I don't know. I probably won't touch that because I can see in the dome where it's a shootout, a little bit of a back-and-forth game. You know, Anthony Richardson try chucking it too sometimes. So I'll probably stay away from that over and under. Honestly, I'll probably stay away from this whole game betting wise. Like I'm picking it because we pick it, but we don't bet every game. You know what I mean? I don't bet every game that we talk about, but we don't skip them out of just, you know, we're not gonna only pick the games we're sure about. We'll give you all the games. You know, you can go dissect our record, but on this game, this is definitely one that I'm just staying away from.
Next up on the slate, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. Bengals are favored -5.5. Over/under is 43.5. The game is in Cleveland. How you feel?
Man, I'll take the points. I don't feel good about it. You know what I mean? Like it's like who feels good about taking the Browns? But I just take. Man, I'm sorry. So I'm looking all over the thing. We got
this is
we got
crazy
the
right
Yankee
now.
game going on. We got Thursday Night Football here as we're filming. So if you see my eyes wandering, you know what I mean. That's what it is. But on that, as far as that game, I'm gonna take Cleveland with the points. I was a little wary of it because it almost feels like Cleveland just giving up on the season when you get rid of Cooper. Like what type of message that sent to the locker room? But what more was when I watched Cincinnati on the game against the Giants. Like I don't think much of the Giants, and Cincinnati could barely handle them. You know what I mean? Like. So I think if their defense is strong, Cleveland's defense is strong. So I think with that, I think it should be good enough to keep the game close. Also, Cleveland hasn't won. Cincy hasn't won in Cleveland in years. If you go back and look, I don't have the exact number, but the last time that Cleveland lost at home to Cincy was the year that they had no wins. So what's that tell you, right? Like, so that's, you know, so every year, even when they're up and down, Cleveland, they still always win at home. So I think they can at least keep the game close there. I'll take the 5.5.
Bet. So that made me feel a little bit better about my pick when you say that, because I got the Bengals -5.5, and what you're telling me is that they're due. You know what I'm saying? You can't lose them all. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100%. I feel like they've given up on the season. Once you get rid of your WR1, I mean, what are you saying, right? I can't even. Well, I guess Jerry Jeudy. I can't name you the next guy up. But other than that, I'm drawing blanks. Nick Chubb is coming back. I personally don't think he's going to be the same player that he was coming off of the injury that he sustained. And then you already know he hasn't played in so long. That first game back, I mean, he may fool me and surprise me. You know what I'm saying? He is a pro athlete, but I just don't believe that that's going to happen. At least not this Sunday. I think that Joe Burrow is actually playing at a high level. I understand. You know, I agree with you on that Giants game. There was really nothing impressive there, but I think that they're just going to come out. This Browns team, again, I don't think they want to play football. They're about to have a for sale sign outside. And I think for that reason, the Bengals are going to come out and they're going to scrape them up.
Yeah, remember, Steve Smith said Judy's just a jag. I don't know, he's the number one, right? I'm just saying. That's true, you know. But Game 7 on the slate. Philadelphia -3 against the Giants. Over under 43.5. What you think?
I think the Eagles are going to come out and try to show us the team that they want to be, because I don't really believe that they are the team that they think they are. But I think that against the Giants, they're going to be able to do a little something. A.J. Brown on his second week back, Devontae Smith on his second week back. I think that they're going to find that little bit of chemistry. I think the Eagles rather -3. I think that's an easy bet. And that's I don't think it needs much more explanation than that.
No, true, man. I think Saquon is gonna go crazy. Like the team. I think that's even how they was been slacking a little bit last week, because they was looking ahead to this game. I think they know how much this means to Saquon. They can say everything. Oh, he's over it. Saquon said it doesn't matter. All that. He cares about this game. Everybody knows that he cares about this game, and everybody in the locker room knows that. And that's their guy. I think the whole team's gonna play hard for him. I don't think the Giants got nothing. And bigger than that, the Giants lost their left tackle. So
Eagles by 14.
I think it's not even close. I think that's one of my best bets would be to take the Eagles. The 3 is insinuating that the teams are even, because you're getting a 3 just for home field. So you're telling me that the Eagles and the Giants are even, and now you got Brown back for the second game. It's not even close. That's one of the best plays. If you like the Eagles like me, run and hit that, because that's not going to be 3. It's probably going to be up to 4 by game time. I would take the Eagles. I think the Eagles got that, and I think Saquon gets in the end zone too.
Yeah. Next on the slate, we got the Lions versus the Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota's favored -2.5, over under 49.5. What you got?
Man, I like Minnesota in this one. I think the 1.5 is, you can take them on the money line, 1.5, whatever, feel comfortable there. It's about the same, but I think I don't know. Minnesota's, they beat everything that came in their way. You know what I mean? Detroit, you're definitely buying high now, because everybody's seen them skunk the Cowboys. So now everybody's jacked on them. I mean, there is also the angle, if you like Detroit, you can say they're gonna play for Hutchinson, because what happened to his leg. But then also Hutchinson ain't out there with him, so that's a huge loss. You know what I mean? So I just think coming off the bye, they had. So they got 2 weeks to prepare. Minnesota, I think Brian Flores is a good defense coordinator. I think he'll cook something up. I know Tua don't agree with me, but you know what I'm saying. but I think that Minnesota got this one. I just think Detroit's, they're off a high. It's like they won the Super Bowl last week. You know what I mean? They were going crazy in the locker room. I go with Minnesota on this one.
I got the Lions plus the 2.5. I understand that the Vikings have been kind of rolling like a freight train. But I think that we saw, against the Jets, even though they won, you know what I'm saying, they're vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? If you could throw some good schemes at them, they're not going to go off like they would. Justin Jefferson's going to get his, but if you can slow the other guys around, Aaron Jones probably not going to be out there. So I think that that's going to take away a dynamic for them. He was playing really well during that run.
Is he definitely out there? I know he's probably not out there, but
last I saw he was doubtful.
Hamstring, right?
Yeah, or hip. It was a hip injury.
At first they called it a hip, and then they switched it. Now it's hamstring.
Oh, it's a hammy. Yeah. Oh, okay, bet. So for that reason, again, I like the Lions. I think that they are riding that high from last week, and I know that Giants defense is nothing to write home about. But like you said, they're playing for Hutchinson. But I think that that's just the team that they are, man. They're a rugged team. And while Brian Flores is a very good defensive coordinator, I just think that this Lions offense, man, that thing is going, man. When David Montgomery gets going downhill, bro, that dude's a bowling ball. Jahmyr Gibbs, that one to attack. I really like the Lions. I actually got the Lions going to the Super Bowl in the NFC this year, so I really like them. And I think the Vikings are due for an L.
Yeah, I hear that. I just look at it like, everybody that went in the Vikings' way, they handled the 49ers, you know what I mean? And then if you look at, I know it was only game 1, but if you go to game 1 and you look at how the Rams was able to score on the Lions. Like the Lions almost didn't beat the Rams game 1 of the season, and then you got Stefanski or whatever. He's like they're all from the same tree. You know what I mean? That McVay stuff. So I don't know. I think that they could score on the Rams. I think Vikings should be able to score on them. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I like the Vikings. I also like the under in this game. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where they're going to try to force the run. Detroit so it's going to slow the clock down. Plus, I think, like I said, I think Minnesota's defense is going to be a little bit up for the task. I just think that I don't think it's a blowout or anything. I think that Minnesota squeaks out the win. Game 9 on the slate, 4 o'clock. Las Vegas Raiders getting 6.5 from the Los Angeles Rams. 43.5 is the over-under. What you think?
I got the Rams winning this one at home. I got them winning by the tutty. I know they got Max Crosby out there, but other than that Raiders team is depleted. I mean, they got Jacoby Myers, and on the Rams side, Cooper Kupp is supposed to be coming back, so I think that's going to be a big addition for them. Kyron Williams is a killer. That dude is absolutely nasty, bro. All he does is run around. Like, he's crazy. Matt Stafford like to, bro. And Matt Stafford all the time, bro. And that's the thing. He's just playing around out there, So I think that at home, again, the Raiders, they just lost Devontae. They're going through it right now, so I don't see them doing very well. I'm gonna go with the Rams minus the 6.5. How you like it?
No, I agree with everything you said, and especially the line was a lot lower. It wasn't 6.5. I forget. I think it was more like 4 or something opened up, but it's going up. So I know it's public heavy, but I don't see how you back the Raiders. Like, remember we were even talking about Max Crosby. It was like if Devontae leaves, it's a package deal, and everything. How that locker room feel. What are they gonna rally around? Minshew guard. You know what I mean? Aiden O'Connell. I like the Rams, especially there's a chance that Kupp might play in the game. That only adds to how much I like the Rams. So I think Rams. I think that they should be able to win by a touchdown, no problem.
Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers playing the Washington Commanders in Washington. Commanders are favored by 7.5. We got the over/under at 52.5. Tell me what you think.
I think Washington is definitely going to win this game, but I like Carolina to keep it close. I also thought the same thing last week, and it didn't happen against Atlanta. But they started off in the first half; they got up to a good lead. If they do that again, against them, I think that Carolina could keep it close. I think Jaden Daniels still gonna do what he does, but the Red Rifle there gets it. I like Xavier Leggett is over the receiver on his overs. I like him to have a good game.
I like the Commanders in this one, man. I think the Commanders are going to do the Panthers the way the Commanders did the Cardinals. I think they're going to come out smoking. I think Cliff Kingsbury, after last week, that close game with the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? I think that they're hungry for a win. They're coming back home. I like that. I'm a big believer in Jaden Daniels, man. I know he's a rookie. I know, but I think the kid can play, man. I think he's really good. He's very poised in the pocket. He can run, but he doesn't just go to it every time, you know what I'm saying? I like what they got going. Scary Terry, OSU, you heard. I just like what that team's got going on. Brian Robinson should be back. And even Eckler's been holding it down, you know what I'm saying? They got that other kid too, I forget his name, but he's been putting in work. Because the Panthers, like you said, they're going to put points up. So I would take the over in this game too. I know it's a lot of points, but the Panthers have been putting up points. With Andy Dalton slinging the rock, he likes to throw that ball. He's like a Aldi's Kirk Cousins. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me? So I'm going to take the Commanders with the points in this one, and that's what I like.
For the game of the week, everybody's favorite game here, Kansas City Chiefs getting 1.5 from San Fran, over under 47.5. What you think about this one?
Man, I just can't bring myself to bet against Mahomes, bro. Pat is just that dude. It don't matter who's out there. I could go out there right now and play with the Kansas City Chiefs and probably have 5 catches for 65 yards. This dude he's incredible, bro. It don't matter who they put out there, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not Juju, if it's, you know what I'm saying, Xavier Worthy might have a game. Or you know what, maybe Kelsey's old ass might fuck around and have a nice game. It don't even really matter, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just picturing you out there running around to
Yo, but Pat will find me though, you feel me? Yo, if I find that soft spot in the defense, he gonna find me, bro. So I just can't, man. I understand who the Niners are and what they've got, but man, I just can't bet against the Chiefs, man. Especially when they giving us points, it seemed like free money to me. How you feel?
Yeah, and I think the same. Like, you can't go against Pat Mahomes, especially getting the points in, and not just that, coming off Andy Reid. It's like everything that says to take him. It's one of those things that if you don't take the Chiefs, you're gonna be like, why did I not take Patrick Mahomes? Like, you know, it's Andy Reid coming off a bye.
He's sick.
Right? It's Andy Reid coming off the bye. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog. Everything sometimes it's just there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't overthink it. Chiefs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the Sunday night game. The New York Football Jets are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Jets are favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is 37.5. Please tell me how you feel about this game.
You're not gonna like it, but I got Pittsburgh. I really think the Jets is gonna be a lot better with Devontae, but I just don't think in a week that they're gonna do it. And then you want to go up against T.J. Watt and Tomlin in your first week. Like I don't see it. Like I think the Jets are gonna get it there. You know what I mean? Like I think you could be enthused about it a lot more than somebody like a Cowboys fan nowadays or something. But you know what I mean? I think you could be enthused about it. But I just think this game. I think Tomlin, and I think either way, because I think that Justin Fields is gonna play still up in the air. I think that's just some gamesmanship on Tomlin's part, but I think that with Fields that he'll be able to run around enough to get some stuff done for you, and to get good field position for the offense that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I don't know. I think Rodgers and Devontae might connect. I want to be surprised in day one, but I just don't know if it's enough.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You know I'm a realist, man, when it comes to these Jets, man. And we going to the Super Bowl, son. We pulled up, got Devontae Adams. We outside, boy. Yo, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, guaranteed anytime tutty Devontae Adams. He might score 2, but it's guaranteed he scores 1. This cat is about to lock in. His hamstring is fine. He ain't never had no hamstring injury. He's good. This boy was Willy Wonka rolling up the steps. He's ready. We're going to come in. We're going to be firing. I don't know who's playing quarterback over there. Don't matter. Don't matter if they running the rock. Don't matter if we putting points up. We coming. If not, the season's over.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this Big Bet Jet, aka no exaggeration. Monday night, game 13, Baltimore minus 3.5, over under 49.5. What you think?
I like Baltimore, man. I'm gonna take them minus the 3.5. The Buccaneers like to put up a lot of points, but I'm just not sold on them, man. I think that they're just, they're a mediocre team that gets hot at times. Mike Evans is a beast, future Hall of Famer. Shout out Mike Evans, the God. Chris Godwin's great receiver. No beef with him. Told you, last time he was gonna have a crazy game. He did. But Baker's Baker, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a game where, even in that last game against New Orleans, he threw like 3 interceptions or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Baker gonna bake. Like that's just how it is. So I'm going to take the Ravens with the points. I love Lamar. Derrick Henry is everything that they were missing, dude. This dude is looking like he's 25 years old again. That offense, Zay Flowers is really starting to come out of his shell, too. I'm really loving that. And I'm going to take the Ravens minus the 3.5. How you feel?
Same. I'll take the Ravens. I think that game could be a shootout. Because you see the way when what's his name, Baker starts chucking it. So I like Ravens there too. Probably over the 49.5.
And for the last game of the week, the Monday nighttime banger that's only on ESPN Plus. They like to make us get all these different streaming apps so that we can pay $1 billion so we can watch football.
I didn't know that was true.
Yeah, crazy, bro. So you got the Chargers versus the Cardinals. The Chargers are minus 2.5. They're in Arizona. Over under 43.5. Tell us how you feel.
I like the Arizona Cardinals on this one. I think that Murray should be able to move the ball on them. And if they get ahead and they start chucking it, I don't think that the Chargers got the offense to keep up with them. I think Arizona on this one. And a big reason, too, is kind of filled out my card. I had some heavy favorites, had to find the underdog. But I'm thinking this one. I'll take Arizona getting a 2.5.
I'm going to agree with you, man. Even though the Cardinals have absolutely destroyed me every other week that I've picked them, I'm still rocking with them, man. At home, I agree with everything that you said about their offense. And the Chargers, I think that they will be a good team. I think they're building on something. Justin Herbert's an amazing quarterback. Ladd McConkey's a really good receiver. Once they get him going and they figure that out, it's going to be really good. And J.K. Dobbins, how long is he really going to be able to put up RB1 numbers? We know his injury history. It's great to see him doing what he do. Ohio State, you heard. But other than that, man, I'm going to rock with you. I'm going to go with the Cardinals getting them points.
And also, I feel like the barbershop has the Chargers. The public has the Chargers. I just think once the public finally got off Arizona, that's when you're getting good value for Arizona. Because usually I feel like they're a little overvalued. Everybody was jumping on this year, but I think now it's about the right sweet spot where you can get good money for Arizona.
All right, y'all. So this is what y'all been waiting for, man. We here to put them parlays in. So for this week's Big Bet Jet Hail Mary, I got a 5-legger. Pay attention because there's a lot of movement, but we're going to get this money. So first off, we got the Texans. We're going to bring them to plus 3.5 because if you buy them down a little bit, it only brings it to minus 146 and it's going to add to the ticket. So then we're going to bring the Bengals. We're going to take them with that minus 5.5 because I'm telling you, they're going to scrape them up. I brought the Lions down to plus 3.5 just to cover the field goal in case that home field advantage for Minnesota really picks up. We brought the Chiefs to plus 3.5 because it's only minus 154, bro. It's Patrick Mahomes. Minus 154 for the Chiefs, plus 3.5. Free money. And then we're going to bring the Eagles to minus 2.5. We're going to bring that down 0.5 point because you don't want it to push. We want this parlay to hit all the way down. Now, 5 legs, you make that movement, plus 12.68. $10 turn into 126. 100 to turn into 12.68. Lock it up.
So my best bet for the day is the Eagles. I love the Eagles in that game. I think Saquon's gonna go nuts. That's my best play. If you just want to play one bet, that's what I say. Play the Eagles. Take them. If they should cover the 3, no problem. As far as everybody loves the parlays, I got a 4-legger for you. Some nice, that we always give you something that's gonna change your day. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna change your life, but it'll change your day, right? So we got first leg of the parlay is Green Bay minus 2.5. Second leg of the parlay is Philadelphia minus 3. Atlanta Seahawks over the 50.5, and Minnesota Detroit under the 50.5. If you do all those 4 legs, $100 will win you $1,100. If you want to tease that, then you could do a 6.5 point teaser. Play all 4 legs. It'll pay out plus 200. That would bring the Green Bay to a plus 4. It'll bring the Philly to a plus 3.5. It'll bring the Seattle and Atlanta game to over 44. And it'll bring the Detroit and Minnesota to under 57. That should be an easy play. If you throw 100 on both games, if you miss the parlay and you hit the teaser, you still be up $100 on the day on those bets. So there's another option, another way for you guys to play it. As always, thank me tomorrow.
Appreciate you tuning in with us, man. It's the Barber, this the Better, Big Bet Jet and the Comissh. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Never chase your losses. And holla at your boys.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave the comments.